I don't know about you, but whenever Mario Sunshine is mentioned in real life, or on a gaming forum somewhere, or YouTube happens to recommend you a video talking about it randomly, the very first things that come to my mind are the terrors of the blue coins, Watermelon Festival, the Sandbird, and the dreaded Pachinko level in all of its janky glory. But that's all been talked about to death. Lord knows I did in the past. But that's not what I want to discuss in today's video. No, I want to talk about one of the most obscure levels in the game that I am at least 89% sure everyone has forgotten about until now, and for good reason. Now, I'm not ragging on it for being bad or anything, but it's as if the level itself is going out of its way to hide in the shadows and live a peaceful and isolated life on Delfino Plaza. Allow me to elaborate. To even enter this seemingly secret of the secret levels, you have to make sure you have access to the rocket nozzle and swim past the Pinna Park and cannon entrance, then launch yourself high into the air to a bunch of trees just casually growing at the side of the wall to form a tiny bridge. It may take a couple attempts to even land on the trees because of the weird camera angle, but you will eventually notice a very lonesome pipe just hanging out far away from everyone else. Heck, even the isolated island where the stranded Pianta stuck is more visible and less isolated than this pipe is, which is kinda ironic. Once you actually enter the level, you immediately find yourself immersed in a sprawling grassy field that is somehow growing atop of a giant floating box in the sky, complete with 4 trees and 4 brown blocks. Unlike the other secret levels at the plaza, this one is absolutely littered with poke enemies that spawn red coins upon defeating them. I believe this is the only time in the entire game where they drop red coins. There are also 2 Piantas just casually wandering around this area as well, with a fire pit that somehow does not cause the grass to burn. Maybe they are responsible for building the pipe in the first place and reside down here as a way of skipping reality. But perhaps the strangest thing about this area is a unique red bird, which is apparently the rarest bird in the entire game, as it is the only one and spawns a red coin after being doused with water. I discussed this in a previous video about the birds in sunshine, but perhaps the red coin gained the magic ability to transform into a bird to fly around in, and will only revert back to its original form if it has a quick shower. This also makes me wonder, how come they haven't brought red birds into other levels, and why is it only this one? Maybe it would have been a bit much, as there are a lot of red coin missions already, but I always found it strange even from Mario Sunshine standards. But if the idea of a giant floating box containing tall grass in the sky with fire that doesn't burn is not strange, then it doesn't belong in this game because everything else is bizarre. For being such an interesting location, it sure doesn't get talked about as much, so I feel like it deserves some recognition, as it's always being overshadowed by its more infamous brethren. Well, that's all I gotta say about this grassy wonderland. With all that being said, thank you for watching. Did you forget about this place too? And please like and subscribe for more videos like these if you want to.